Hello, everybody. I hope you have had a great week. This is the video, Sunday video for November 15th, 2020 in Math 100. Yes, it is 2020 and we still have a month and a half to go this year. As far as the semester is concerned, we are one fourth, we have a quarter of the semester to go because out of the 16 week semester, we have finished 12. And so we are going into week number 13. You have been studying lessons on music and apportionment, and let's see what's happening this week. All right, let's get started. Okay, so this past week you had two lessons that you were supposed to have studied, and those are lesson 18 on musical scales and fractals. Um, and then you also had section 19, how appropriate, right? Lesson 19 was on apportionment, which is the question of how many um, people should represent each state in the Congress. And if you don't know that this will be decided next year because we've just had our 2020 census, and based on those numbers, we will be the country will be figuring out if they need to adjust those numbers, the House of Representatives, for each state. So that would be an interesting thing, and I hope you've learned the apportionment and the little historical significance of the apportionment theory, all right, first discussed by people like Alexander Hamilton and Thomas Jefferson and others. All right, so that was this past week. And so what's coming up is, you have the worksheets due for these two lessons. Worksheet 18 due tomorrow, the November 16th, and worksheet 19 due on November 16th, which is also tomorrow. All right, those. And I believe for worksheet 18, you had a little drawing to do. In fact, two drawings, because I had two questions on fractals on worksheet 18. So don't forget to upload your drawings, okay, for worksheet number 18. That was the last question on there. I know it's only worth like a half of a point, but still, I mean, these are the things that you are to learn in this chapter or in this course. So I would encourage you to do so. All right, and then what's coming up this week? Oh, by the way, chapter 7 homework. Chapter 7 homework is also due tomorrow, Monday. Okay, and this is only just a couple of sections, so hopefully you will be able to do all the problems in chapter 7. And by the way, if you're wondering what chapter 7 homework is, just remember, you go back and lesson 17 covers the first two sections of chapter 7, and lesson 18 covers the third and the fourth sections of chapter 7, and those are the homework due tomorrow. Okay, so this coming week, this is week number 13, you are to do lesson 20. Lesson 20, what's lesson 20? Well, lesson 20 is on the theory of voting, another very appropriate topic, because we've just had a national election, which some people say is over and some people say it's not over yet, depending on your political affiliation, I guess. But the theory of voting is quite interesting. It's basically how do you decide the winner? And then you have several methods that you will be learning for this lesson. All right, so I hope you will learn this well. And then the second half of this coming week, I want you to start getting ready for test number 3. When is test number 3? That is on November 24th. You'll see it right here. That's the Tuesday, not this coming Tuesday, but next Tuesday. This will be the Tuesday, the 2 days before Thanksgiving. All right, that's when your test will take place. So this week, after you do your lesson 20, make sure you spend time doing maybe practice test 3. I have provided the answer key, written answer key, as well as the video answer key in which I go over every problem on practice test 3. So hopefully you understand that I am trying to provide you with as many different forms of support as I can. And so try to take advantage of them, right? On the day of the test, that's the following Tuesday, not this coming Tuesday, your homework on chapter 8, the math and politics will be due, as well as your test number 3. Okay, so this is all taking place right before your Thanksgiving break. Right now, after Thanksgiving, before your final exam, you do work on this course project. You'll have about a week to do this. I highly, highly recommend that you'll get a good head start on this. Some of you have, many of you have already contacted me on the project topic. That's great. You can start working on those things. And remember, just read the project description. And here is more explanation. This is in the video form. And then I have provided you with some project samples in the past. And then these are the places where you will turn in your project, the written project and your presentation. Okay, so the semester is coming to an end fairly quickly. And so make sure you finish all your requirements. Some of you are a little behind. I hope you will have some time to catch up. The discussion boards will be set up later, and I think the discussion boards will focus on this project. I will probably have you watch other people's presentations and make some comments and have some discussions going for extra credit, but that will be made clear in a week or two. All right, and so one more thing, I have mentioned this earlier by announcements, but there is a big event coming this week. It's called the International Forum on Youth at College of the Canyons, hosted by the International Services and Programs Department here on campus. I am one of the two faculty coordinators of this event, so I am promoting this. And let me just show you one particular thing that I want to call your attention to. And on Tuesday, and by the way, the theme of this year's conference is migration, but we'll have a special speaker. Haruka Sakaguchi is this Japanese documentary photographer. And just so you know, this person actually graduated from the Academy of the Canyons. I've known her for a long time, and she is now a professional photographer whose works are featured in such publications as the New York Times, the New Yorker, the Time Magazine, the National Geographic, and so on. And her work, which she'll be talking about, was actually featured in the Oslo, the Museum of the Nobel Peace Prize. So this is quite a treat for you, I think. Many of you are interested in areas like journalism and photography and film. This is something that I think you may be very interested in. So, and then you have a student panel later that week, well, actually later that day on Tuesday. So they will be addressing issues and challenges faced by youths all over the world today. So this will be an interesting and I think a very good conference for you to attend. All you have to do is to zoom in. You can register earlier if you like, right here, and for any of these things. All right, I still have my office hours. Unfortunately, because I have to host all of these meetings this week, my office hours Monday will be from 1 to about 1:45 because I have to log into this conference at 2. And same thing for Thursday, from 1 to about 1:45 or 1:50. And then I'll have to leave my office hours to attend these things. All right, so that's about it for this week. And I hope you know what you are to be doing this coming week for this course. All right, so if you have been keeping up with this course, you have one more full-length lesson, which is lesson 20 on the theory of voting. And after a project, you have one more short lesson on the gerrymandering, which is also very appropriate and timely topic. But anyway, that's after your project. Okay, at this point, just focus on keeping up with the course, and I hope you will do your part this week and try to finish the semester well. All right, I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.